Hi guys, and welcome to my SEO training course. Now, my name is Dean and I am going to be talking you through everything you could ever need to get started on the internet properly. What I ask is that you don't distribute my videos freely out there, because if you are paying me for this information, it makes good business sense to keep it to yourself. This is the first time, folks, that I have ever opened up my entire teaching ability and knowledge to the world. I have had a successful career spanning 25 years on the internet, and as well as being a computer programmer, I have also been a very successful internet entrepreneur, and I've been involved with some of the biggest domain names in the world out there, going back to the early 90s. Now, for the first time ever, I have decided I'm going to give it a go and put my entire teaching ability and everything I've ever done onto video. I talk naturally and I talk freely. I don't use notes. I don't use any pre-recordings, rehearsals, nothing like that. What you see is what you get with me. I just talk from the heart. And I can assure you that I have got many, many testimonials. I have got extremely grateful clients from most parts of the world. And I have never had a problem with the people that I am teaching. Age should not be a barrier, and you certainly shouldn't consider yourself incapable of learning this stuff. It is really not reserved for the geeks and what we call the gurus out there. It's all nonsense. Basically, the internet is a free module that is available to the entire world. It is a marvelous marketing vehicle, and it can bring huge successes to ordinary folks just like you and I. I don't profess to be the best in the world, but I do profess to having an uncanny ability to be able to get over to you, my clients who are paying me, some of the most important ideas in the world. Now, just talking from experience, before we can even get into SEO training or any form of advanced stuff, we've got to know the basics. So I start at the beginning and I go right through to the end, and I cover everything possible in the easiest way that you people are going to understand. Now, from experience, where most people struggle is the actual concept of getting a website live, getting through the barriers of servers and content, and how all of this mysterious stuff seems to fit together. It seems like a massive jigsaw to a lot of people. And in fairness, I've spoken to probably thousands over the years, and some of them have had quite a lot of experience. Others have been complete novices who literally haven't really turned a machine on. I've taught computer programmers, people with more skills than me in certain areas, I will admit that. But the thing that I find everybody seems to struggle on, and this is getting the pattern right. What people want, I've always found, are rules. For example, A, B, C, D, right the way through until everything is complete. And that's what people like, is a set of guidelines that don't really change. And you'll be pleased to know that that is exactly the way that I teach things. A lot of people, for example, will come to me and they'll know roughly about how to use WordPress and how to build a post, but what they don't know is how to get that domain name they've just bought live onto a server. Other people will come to me and they won't know how to register a domain name. And I get people who have bought off-the-shelf products and they just don't know what to do with these things. And I am here to unravel the entire mystery behind everything. Because at the end of the day, the internet is not difficult to understand. And you just need a real human being who's going to teach you everything properly. Now, the first thing that starts anything to do with the internet has got to be a computer. Now, what an obvious thing to think about, but the amount of questions I get about what kind of computer I need is immense. And yes, we all need a computer and we need a base to start our work on. The type of computer you need these days is my sort of rule. If it's 3-4 years old, you're laughing. It's going to be fine. You don't have to go out and spend massive amounts on PCs. You know, as long as you've got 2, 3, 4 gig of RAM, a reasonable hard drive memory, wireless connectivity, you're going to be okay. So don't worry too much about your equipment. It's the software that is important as you go on, you see. It's not necessarily the actual PC. So once we've got ourselves the little PC, we're all set up and most of us draw a blank. Well, the next step is obviously getting ourselves a domain name. Now, a domain name, or URL as it's known in the trade, it's a rather posh word which means Universal Resource Locator. And it's just a technical name basically for what we know as a domain name. For example, abc.com is a domain name. Now, we have got to buy one of these domain names. So we buy it, and then we have to change the DNS, and then we have to get it onto a server. Then we have to install WordPress, and then we have to do magical things like learn how to use WordPress, and we have to go through the entire WordPress actual training. And here you can see is WordPress. Nothing to be frightened of. We've got our menu down the side, which does all wonderful weird things, which will actually produce the site. So we've got our dashboard, and this basically will control the entire site that we are going to build. And there it is. This is one of my sites, SEOtuition.com, which is successfully ranking all over the world in the #1 spot for many, many keywords, and boasts very high amounts of traffic, and has a very good Alexa rank, and even has a UK Alexa rank. Now, you may be thinking, what on earth is this guy going on about an Alexa rank? Well, an Alexa rank is something we will be learning about as time goes on, but it basically tells you how popular a site is. So anyway, the first thing is the domain name, and here it is. We go out, we choose a name. We've got to decide upon the name. There's a lot of work in deciding. There's lots of rules we've got to get through. You know, they've got to be keyword rich. We've got to talk about the different extensions, the .com, the .co.uk's, the .orgs, the list goes on and on, but we need to know about this little thing here known as the domain name. Once we've got a domain name, we then need to get it onto a server. And a server really is this horrific thing that you're looking at on my screen. Now, I will talk you through how all of this works. You won't have any problems whatsoever, and you will just basically end up with installing a program known as WordPress. And here is WordPress right in front of you here, sitting on the server. Here it is. Now, once WordPress is installed, we have got to go through and we have got to build the website. Now, the website has got to be built in a proper, orderly fashion. Once the website is built, I'll be showing you how to optimize it. you know, how to cosmetically improve it with the use of images, but mainly how to make sure that you are going to hit the top spot of all the search engines, not just Google, all the search engines. But I fully realize, guys, that everybody, and I mean this, everybody struggles in the process. In other words, it's getting from A to Z, and it's got to be done in little small chunks. But what I will show you properly is everything from the domain name right the way through to how to actually install WordPress, then how to create SEO and to make sure the site is absolutely done to perfection, using everything from content management through to social media, through to keyword analysis, quality score ranks. Everything will be covered, but we need to know where it all starts. And it starts from the computer. It starts then with the domain name. It then starts with putting WordPress onto a server. We then manage the website via the WordPress interface, which controls the domain name up here. And then we go on and we can take any direction in life that you want to take. You may want to become an SEO consultant and make, very high money and earn a lot of money. That is one possibility. You may want to go out and take my affiliate marketing course and create a lot of money via affiliate marketing. Perhaps you want to enter the world of domaining, which is another area I excel in. Or, quite simply, perhaps you want to go out there and develop your own businesses, because there is no better feeling in the world than turning on your machine in the morning and knowing exactly how to build a simple yet effective website, get it all done yourself, get it all optimized, and make your ideas a reality. This is what people can't do. They got the ideas, and trust me, I've heard some incredible ideas over the years, but people cannot bring them to fruition. They don't know the process of A to Z, of how to get everything onto the internet and out to the world. And there are steps that we've got to take. But the good news is every step is outlined in precise detail. Every minute step we take is done properly in a very, very easy to understand format. I don't leave anything unturned. I cover everything. And I do apologize if I speak very simplistically a lot of the time, but that's my personality, and I am a perfectionist. And luckily, people seem to like my style of teaching. I have a bit of fun along the way. I'm not sitting here now sort of in my suit, sort of, with a glass of wine next to me and trying to act clever. No, I'm not doing anything like that. I'm sitting in my living room. I grabbed my laptop and I thought, right, okay, let's show the world what knowledge I have got, and let's do it properly. My aim is to cut away all the rubbish, all the hype, all the scams, all the nonsense, and just get down to business. Basic business. Internet. What you need to do, people, is to keep it simple. You can write that down right now if you want. Keep it simple. Learn how to do things properly. Don't skip, because I was one for those in the early days, because back in, late 89, 1990 time, I had no one to help me, and I would always skip. I would never sit down long enough to learn anything, and I would always want everything done right then, and I was the biggest culprit in the world, and to some extent, I still am. I still want things done now, and I want it done yesterday. But luckily, I hung around long enough to be able to absorb all the information. So I really know what it's like when you're sitting at the front of a computer. You've just spent two, three, $400, and you think, oh my God, am I going to be able to do this? And I'm telling you now, you're going to be able to do this. There is nothing hard about servers, websites, emails, construction, pictures, and all kinds of weird and wonderful things. It's nothing is difficult. It's just the general understanding. It's like a game of chess. Once you know how the pieces move, for example, the queen and the knight and the pawns, they all have different functions. But once you know how they all move, you can move them in any direction you want. And this is what the internet is like. You've got to get the nutshell in place. You've got to get the basics understood. But then once you've grasped it, and I have seen so many clients really show, astonishing reactions when the penny drops. It's as if I can feel the sort of awe coming off them via the telephone or Skype. I mean, I've seen many people, some in their 70s, say, wow, Dean, is that really all it is? Is that all that is actually done to do what is achieved on the internet? And I basically just say to them, yeah, that's all it is. And it's just having a human being who can tell you how these things are done. You don't need to overcomplicate things. If there was anything difficult online, I promise I would warn you now. I mean, and just to finish, for example, here is a little program that we'll be talking about. It's free and it's called Core FTP, File Transfer Protocol. Now, these here are some websites that I have on my computer. And if I wanted to log into Typed Up Wales, then I would just say connect to the server, and you get all of this goobly gook going on. But simply, I'm logged in. This pane here is the server in America. This pane is my computer in my house. And my job is to get files from my computer in this pane over onto the server, or I can download them from the server down to my machine. So there it is. Us in our houses, server anywhere in the world. And all this does is serve out our web pages to the world. And once we've got full control over this area and the relationship between us and the server, then what we end up producing at the end of it all is obviously a website. And that is a website. There's GoDaddy. That is controlled ultimately by a server. Here's the server, and that is what controls the websites. The files we put up is everything that we are going to learn, and we are going to use a little program known as WordPress. And all WordPress is a what you see is what you get editor. It basically takes the hard work out of programming, and it allows us to create lovely looking websites that do the job, get us the traffic, and allow us to carve out a future for ourselves on the internet. And ultimately, you'll be able to build a site like this, okay, in probably under 3 hours. It's a very basic site. I don't pretend, that it's beautiful in charisma. And it's not, because pretty sites don't rank. Remember that one. Now that's a bit hard to swallow, but it's the truth. There's a lot of text here, but it's all researched, okay? There's a lot of Google Plus going on here, okay, which is very powerful stuff that you'll be learning about. There's a lot of Twitter, there's a lot of Facebook, there's a lot of interactivity, there's a lot of Pinterest going on here, there's a lot of LinkedIn. Okay, there's a lot of site content which has all been researched using simple techniques. But the result is an extremely powerful site that just ranks basically very high all over the world. I mean, if we type in, for example, SEO tuition, then obviously you will see on the front page here that we are actually ranking, and here we are. Okay, straight in on the front page. And instantly, some wisecracks out there, and there's hundreds of them. You'll come across all of these wise geeks out there. They say, "Ah, well, it's because you've got the domain name SEO tuition that you're ranking on the front page." And that is absolute rubbish. Here we are again. We've even got our LinkedIn coming back to the front page of Google, okay? It's nothing to do with that. The domain name helps, of course it does, but there is a lot more than the domain name. You know, if I was to type in things like intensive SEO training, which is a very popular keyword because everybody wants things done now, you would find us, and all of this is raw and guessing, and there we are again, straight on the front page. And the list goes on and on and on. I have many clients, all of whom are ranking front page at Google, Yahoo, and Bing. And, you know, I've got so much knowledge that I really want to show you people. You're going to get my personality. You know, we're going to have some fun. We're going to have a laugh. You're going to get to know me personally. And I'm not going to try to impress you. I'm going to make a few mistakes now and again. Of course I am. You know, my computer might turn off accidentally, and we'll have all kinds of fun on the journey. But ultimately, I'm a friendly guy, and I am going to get you there. I am going to unravel all of the hype and just cut it down into get the job done, build the website, and let's just get on with it, because there is nothing difficult about this. Okay, and don't overlook search engines such as Yahoo, because they've still got a massive percentage of the market. It varies. I mean, it's probably around about 20 odd percent at the moment, but that equates to millions and millions of searches a day. And again, I'm doing this completely live. And if you type in SEO tuition, and hopefully we'll be on there somewhere. And there we are here again. So remember, there are other search engines, and life does go on after Google. But we can't ignore Google, because they're an extremely big company, started by Larry Page and Sergey Brin, and I was around before the days of Google, so who knows, if I'd only registered that domain name, maybe I'd be sitting up there now. But I didn't quite see that one coming, I got to be honest. But that's one thing I'll always regret. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the intro. At least you're getting it from my heart. And, you know, guys, you will do this. And remember, there's no rush. You know, if you want to watch a video 30 times, watch it 30 times. The way I used to do it, and I still do it if I want to learn something, I stop the video every 3 or 4 seconds. I go back to what I've just been told. I double check I've got it right, then I restart the video, and I keep going back and forth all the way until I reach the end. And that's important. Make a few notes as well, because don't try to rely on your memory, because what you learned today you may have forgotten tomorrow. So keep learning it, and keep going back, and keep thinking about what I've told you. When you're driving your car, when you're out walking the dog, when you're in the garden, whatever, just keep thinking about the process. A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. Think everything through. And, you know, one thing you'll find about me, guys, is that I talk too much. But I am determined that, you know, whatever money you've paid me, you are going to do this. You are really going to be able to build websites, optimize them, and know every single aspect of this wonderful world that we call the internet. It's open to everybody. So come on, let's get on with this, and let's see some, you know, some confidence. Thanks for listening, and see you on the next lesson. Ta-ra for now.